Bop, 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 bop. Geeks are back, baby. UFC 277, Dallas, Texas. We got some bangers. Amanda Nunes, Juliana Pena, 2. Who's the GOAT? Who's the GOAT? We got Assassin Baby versus the Kiwi coming out. D. Lewis stepping out. We got some scraps. Here we go. Pantoja even's going to be out there, huh? All right, let's get into it. First fight on the main card. Magomed Ankalaev, 17-1 against Lionheart, Anthony Smith, 36-16. Light heavyweight scrap, a lot on the line. Potentially title fight on the line. Anthony Smith getting absolutely disrespected on the books, plus 390. Ankalaev is minus 575. Listen, the minus 500 club, that's a rare club to be in, man. And he might just be that guy. Ankalaev has not shown many flaws in the UFC. I mean, this guy is kind of everywhere. His stand-up's elite. His ground game's elite. He might be the future. But plus 390, Anthony Smith, one last run at the title. A guy that can just grab anything. He's got that jiu-jitsu in his pocket. He says he's got a game plan. He says that Ankalaev's not the boogeyman. I'm going to take his word on it. I mean, plus 390, I'm taking a flyer. I think that he's live for a sub in this. He might look a lot like Paul Craig Ozdemir, but I'm gonna take that plus 390 because I think that he's a little bit smarter than Paul Craig in a sense, and he might get this fight to the mat when he wants to in some sticky situations. But he's known to eat a punch. I mean, Lionheart. So battle in there. Give me a hard sub. I'm taking the flyer. What do you got, Goosey?
Dude, this one's hard. And I'm looking at this now. At the day we're recording this is actually Anthony Smith's birthday today. So happy birthday, Anthony Smith. But I'm picking Magomed and Goliath. I'm looking here. Yeah, it's very steep and the value is probably on Anthony Smith, but I think Ankalaev's going to get the win because his striking numbers, he's just cleaner. His grappling is a lot of top pressure and good offensive wrestling, which has given Anthony Smith problems in the past. He tends to get stuck on bottom if there's a pressure wrestler, and that's not what you want when you're fighting Magomed Ankalaev. So I think he will have a slight edge in the striking department, but if he doesn't, he's going to have the grappling to fall back on. So not really anything I'd play, but I think Magomed Ankalaev is going to get the win here.
Dano, what do you got?
I think this is a fight that you shouldn't think too much about. The odds for me are, I can see it swaying people because of how good the Anthony Smith plus 300 looks, but I just don't think he has a way of winning this. If it wasn't for my boy Paul Craig, Ankalaev could have been 18-0. Got that lucky submission off, but someone who's 17-1 going up for the belt, years looking over his shoulder for him. And then you look over Anthony Smith, who's been floating around for years. So I just think Ankalaev, this is a stepping stone in his career. He's going to pass it with flying colors. I think he's just going to be too much everywhere. And unfortunately, Anthony Smith could be retiring. I hope not, because he is cool, but I don't think he's winning this one.
Fishman, what do you got?
Yeah, sadly, I mean, I want to ride with Anthony Lionheart Smith, but I think Ankalaev is just going to get the win. I mean, dude's on a tear, 8-fight win streak, 4 knockouts, 2 of them to the same guy with that little Kudalaba early stoppage. But, I mean, shit, yeah, it's just tough. Ankalaev's got an 85% takedown defense, and it's just a tough match for Anthony Lionheart Smith. So I'm going with Ankalaev on this one, but yeah, that Smith line is looking real nice though.
All right, it looks like the Anthony Smith line is gonna get spared from the sheet this week, but I'll have a little dabble on there. Let's move into the next boot. We got Dano's fighter of the week. We got Alexander Pantoja, 24-5, coming out against Alex Perez, 24-6. This is a flyweight scrap. A lot on the line here as well. Pantoja, this guy, what does he need to do to get this title shot? I mean, once he wins here, I feel like it's obvious. I mean, just give this guy his title chance. There's so much going on up there, but I mean, he deserves it. He's got wins over guys like Brandon Moreno that are up there fighting for interim belts and all this kind of stuff. So, Pantoja, I just looked at the line plus 450 sub. I think that is a super valuable bet. I think that he's going to stick to Alex Perez like glue in this matchup. We've seen him get subbed by Figgy quick. Pantoja's sub jiu-jitsu game is unreal. If you don't believe that, go watch back Brandon Royval versus Pantoja. It is ridiculous. His grappling is elite. He can do the stand-up as well. I think Pantoja is just going to be looking for a finish as soon as the bell rings in this matchup, and I think he's going to find it. So I'm taking Pantoja in this. The line for him is minus 174, super manageable. I love that play. Perez plus 141. Dano, what do you got?
You already know who I'm riding with. I'm going with Pantoja. I feel like he's so undervalued and just like underused because he should have had a title shot after the rematch of Moreno and Figgy. He got hurt, pulls out, and now they had the trilogy. And now we got an interim going up with Figueiredo matched up. So Pantoja could have had a title shot, but now he's back fighting contenders, and I think he's going to get past this one, proving that he's going to the title shot. All around, I think he's just like such a stud. So I'm riding with the boy. Ride with Pantoja. He's dope. Let's get it done.
Let's go. Fishman, what do you got?
I'm riding with Pantoja as well. This dude's a killer. Never been finished. 8 knockouts, 9 subs. I was gonna say Royval's a stud on the ground. He gets a sub victory on Royval. His striking is looking great. I mean, 4 strikes a minute, 52%. It's looking snipery, and he's on a 2-fight win streak. So I mean, these guys' records are pretty similar, but also Perez's last fight, he hasn't been too active. His last fight was in 2020. He got that quick sub and loss to Figgy. But yeah, I'm riding Pantoja on this. It's looking like a good matchup for him.
Goosey, what do you got?
Sweet. I mean, they're both good all-around fighters, but Pantoja's just a dog. I think he has better striking. I think he has better grappling, and he has really good cardio. So wherever this fight plays out, I'm going to feel pretty comfortable with the boy in there. So give me Pantoja.
Let's go. We're moving right into this big old slobber knocker. We got D. Lou, the KO King, 26-9, coming out against Sergey Pavlovich, 15-1. Heavyweight scrap, 3 rounds of nonsense. I mean, Derek Lewis back in Texas after he's been riding a bumpy road. He's looking to make a statement win, man. He needs a bounce back. They gave him Sergey Pavlovich, another guy that likes to stand up and trade. I'm getting Daukaus flashbacks. I hate that this matchup is so hard because a couple years back, you could just look at this and just say, let's get this D. Lewis knockout line going, baby. But now you sit back and question it a little bit because he's very hesitant. He's losing athleticism. The age is definitely getting to him. You can see it every time he steps out. I am going to take Derek Lewis in this, though, because I am not sold on Sergey Pavlovich. I think that he's just very hesitant himself. And I think that, Derek Lewis adds even more to that to every guy that he fights. So I wouldn't be surprised if Pavlovich messes up, jumps in with a flurry, and just gets caught. And Derek Lewis does his thing, man. It might take to the last second, but Derek Lewis plus money. Yeah, I'm going to take a little dabble on that. I think that he can find the button. So give me that. Goosey, what do you got?
Dude, I almost just want to say no pick, but I think I'm going to end up going with Pavlovich here. It makes more sense. I'm looking at it. I don't see the ground threat from D. Lou, and that's been the only weakness that Pavlovich has really shown to this point. He got ground and pound TKO'd by Alistair Overeem a few years back, but he hasn't lost a striking battle to this point in the UFC, and he's going to have the reach on Derek Lewis. So I think given that, he's going to be in his comfort zone where this fight plays out. Derek Lewis likes to play the counter game. I think with the reach, he's going to be able to stay safe and hit 1-2s. He throws very powerful right cross. So Derek Lewis has been sliding. I just don't feel confident picking him. I'll take a young prospect on the rise, but power punchers at heavyweight, all it takes is one. This is a coin flip, truly.
Yeah, this is honestly a terrible fight to gamble on. Do not recommend putting a lot of money on this fight. But
And under.
Fishman, what do you got?
I'm riding with Sergey on this one. I just with Derek Lewis, he just doesn't move well. That's what I like. When I see him, he just doesn't move well. When he gets hit, he stumbles hard and he just doesn't have a good base under him. Sergey, uh, he's landed more strikes, and that's all I think it's going to take in this fight. I mean, you're a heavyweight. Doesn't matter if you hit super hard. You're a heavyweight, and I think whoever's going to be touching the other person up is going to be winning, and I think that's going to be Sergey. 3 knockout streak all in the first round. And I think it's just going to keep going. But yeah, Sergey.
Dano, what do you got?
I like Derek Lewis, but I think Pavlovich is in the Derek Lewis sweepstakes where Derek Lewis, everyone's career's got to come to an end. We're on a pay-per-view card. We're on a good spot on the main card. Pavlovich is 15-1. 15-1. Big name with Derek Lewis is a big time for Pavlovich to go in there and make his presence known. In Lewis's past fights against Gan and Tuivasa, where people who made their presence known on the feet could stand with them and were walking him down to where Derek Lewis was walking backwards. And that's when Derek Lewis, especially at this part of his career, is not that effective. So if Pavlovich can, and I think he will, like Fish said, he's throwing a lot of punches per minute. I feel like he's going to overwhelm Lewis. I like first round TKO knockout for Pavlovich.
All right, said and done. We're moving into the big old scrapperoonie, the co-main, the assassin baby versus the Kiwi. Brandon Moreno, 19-6-2, coming out against Kai Kara France, who is 24-9 and on a tear right now. Kai Kara France seems like he's on, some kind of crazy steroid shit that's just made his hands nuclear. I mean, the guy is just putting people away on the touch of a button. I mean, you can debate his wins, his difficulty of schedule, but the way that he's doing this kind of stuff is just what's making statements. So he finds himself in the rematch against Brandon Moreno for the second time. They've already fought. Moreno got the better of him, 1-2-3 in that fight. Kai Kara France definitely had his moments. It was a great fight. I'm gonna take Brandon Moreno in this. I think that Brandon Moreno's made bigger jumps since the last time that they fought. And I think that, having already seen Kai Kara France's hands, it's not going to be anything too crazy. I think that Kai Kara France struggles against strikers that can go for 15 minutes. I think that he usually likes to beat up on, Cody Garbrandt, obviously, but he's mostly, a wrestler. You can argue. Moreno's going to be there for 3 rounds, throwing haymakers right back at him. He's going to be able to take his back and, have that threat at least. Moreno's an assassin baby, and I think he's out for blood in this matchup. I think that he's going to be getting right back where he left off. So give me Brandon Moreno in this scrap. I think he gets a finish before the 5 rounds. Dano, what do you got?
I got that this fight's going to be a banger. I don't know who I have because I feel like this is just going to be such an elite level fight. Both these guys, Kai Kara France is raging with momentum, and Brandon Moreno, even though people don't love the trilogy, it means he's been at the top for the past 3-4 fights. So the experience will definitely be there for Moreno. The nerves will be calm. He'll be ready for 5 rounds. He'll be used to the spotlight. But Kai Kara France, he's scary. And listening to you and thinking what I had to say, if I have to make a pick in a kill or be killed situation, which it's going to be, I'm going to ride with the Mexican Brandon Moreno. I don't know about inside the distance because they're both durable, but let's see if he can get it done. This will be a scrap. I'm rooting for the fight to be nasty, but I don't know if I'm rooting for a specific fighter, but my pick's going to be Moreno.
All right. What do you got, Fishman?
I'm riding Moreno on this one as well, just because of the ground threat. I mean, Kai, I was going to go with him at first. I mean, I love Kai. 3-fight win streak, 2 knockouts, steamrolling through. But, I mean, Moreno, just because this is a long fight, and Moreno can get it to the ground eventually. If it gets to the ground, I mean, Kai France does have a good takedown defense at 86%. But I mean, Moreno, if you can make Figgy tap, then you're definitely a threat. Kai Kara has been submitted a couple times, and Moreno can handle himself on the feet. So I mean, I just think the longer this fight goes, the better of a chance Moreno has.
Yeah, that's a fact. I see him definitely banking the last few rounds. Goosey, what do you got?
Moreno, we're going to sweep again because for me, I see this as a fight that's going to be a definite brawl. And to this point in their careers, Kai Karp has shown a little bit of a problem when the fight gets dirty. He really likes a clean fight where he can strike or have to defend takedowns, but guys that can really get in there and mix it up, we've seen him have problems with. Like he's already lost to Brandon Moreno. He lost to Brandon Royval, who was just a scrapper, and he beat Paiva by split decision. And I mean, that's not something I want to see if you're going up against Brandon Moreno, because Brandon Moreno is a few levels ahead of Paiva, in my opinion. So I think Brandon Moreno is more past to victory. He's been preparing for title fights. He's on the best streak of his life. This is going to be his third or fourth straight fight where the belt's on the line. So he's been doing this. Kai Kara France has sort of been up and down. He's stringing a few wins together now. I just think this is Brandon's time to get back and get the first ever quadrilogy with the win. So
Let's go. We're moving into the main event. We got the females, Juliana Pena, 11-4, Amanda Nunes, 21-5. Who is going to be the female GOAT after this? Because Juliana Pena surely can strip that title from her with another solid finish in this fight. Amanda Nunes, she moved camps, man. She left ATT. No one knows who she's training with. No one knows what she's doing. She swears that she's going to come back with vengeance. She's probably doing the same thing she was doing the last time, taking care of her family, hanging out, thinking that she's doing her own thing. I just see so much value on Juliana Pena again. I know that she's going to be losing the first initial exchanges, maybe the first even round, maybe the first even 2 rounds. But what Amanda Nunes showed me in that last fight is that she quit, and that she has that quitter in her. And Juliana Pena knows that that last fight was not like the staple for her. She knew immediately she'd have to do it again. I think that she's just going to ride this momentum. She's the more active fighter now. I mean, 7 months. I mean, I guess she's not more active, but 7 months, she's more active than she's ever been. I think that she comes out, eats a shit ton of punches, takes a cruel punishment, and then gets a late finish again. I think that Nunes is just not in shape for this. I mean, I don't know what she's doing, but I can guarantee it's not as much as Juliana Pena. Too much value. I'm taking it. Let's go. Also, I mean, that backstory where they were like they were supposed to fight and they never did for a while. That's all true. So, I mean, this could be a logical fight that she's been trying to get away from for a while, and now it's just in her face. So, Goosey, what do you got?
I mean, a lot of the same reasons I'm picking Juliana Pena. We just saw this fight happen 7 months ago. She got her hand raised, and now she's plus 250. I mean, I think that's where the value is. A lot of question marks for Amanda Nunes. She did switch camps into the last fight. I think she was going to start up her own gym. But I don't have a lot of answers there, so I can't assume that she's just going to come out as this brand new fighter. Juliana Pena, she's tough, and she has a good ground game, which is probably what you need to beat Amanda Nunes, because, I mean, you're going to have to take punishment early until she gasses out and then make her vulnerable on the ground. That's what worked for Pena last time. That's what I'm expecting to work again. So give me Pena here.
Dano, what do you got?
I got Nunes bouncing back, second round TKO. But more into it, I feel like she's going to get back to her old ways, The loss was probably pretty embarrassing for her. A lot of people do consider her the GOAT. So in her mind, her losing, she's probably got to regain this win. And I think we're gonna see old Amanda Nunes out there throwing bombs. And I just don't know if Pena can hold up with it again. We've seen it the first time, but I'm just gonna bank on this one that Nunes finds the chin.
Fishman, what do you have?
I'm riding with the Lioness on this one. I don't think Pena can do it again. That's just it. I think Nunes quit, and I think really that fight happened like that because the stars were just aligned for it to happen. Nunes just had a kid, and she just got off COVID, so she literally was sick as hell, had a kid, and then just got into this fight, had to defend the belt. So I mean, I think she would just had some shit circumstances to deal with, and she's gonna come out, she's gonna knock Pena out. But yeah, I mean Pena definitely not a bad odd to play with, but Nunes definitely early in the fight, Pena later, but I'm riding with Nunes.
100%, man. There it is. We're split dead even. You're gonna have to hit the geek sheet to find out where we're going. But Amanda Nunes by knockout is plus 140. Juliana Pena by submission is plus 450. We are logging in and logging out. Check us out: Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whole 9 yards.
Hit the subscribe. Leave a comment. Leave a like.
Drop a sub. We're out.